Hi, what's up you guys? For those of you that don't already know, my name is Gianna, and if you have watched my channel before, you know that this isn't like my type of video, and if you watch the whole thing, you're gonna find out why. But as you can also tell by the title, which is down here, not up here anymore, it's not 2006, this story is about my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't actually meet him through Tinder. He's just that type of guy, and yeah, so I'll just start the story. And this story actually took place 2 years ago. Yeah, it was like June 2 years ago. So I was like 16 at this time, and it was during the summer, and my birthday is in July, so I was still 16. I was gonna be 17 soon, and so like as a teenager, me and my friends would go to the river all the time. It was like an almost daily thing, especially because at the time I wasn't working, so we would go to the river, hang out with a bunch of cool people, do whatever else people do at the river, swim, you know what I mean. So we're at the river one day, and it wasn't just one day. There was like a few days that we had like met the same people and just kind of hung out with them. And there was like this group of guys who was definitely older than we were, and they were super nice to us. We would hang out with them, and it was like a friendly thing. It wasn't like anything more than that, except for this one guy, and I don't want to use his real name, and I wish that I could show you guys pictures, but like just even telling the story is going to make it so obvious that I'd rather just not even show you guys pictures. But I'm going to call him Jeff. So Jeff makes a lot of money. He's a pretty confident guy, and he has no problem with like telling people what he wants. So of course, me being young and naive, which I wasn't actually very naive, I knew exactly what he wanted. I knew he was trying to use me, so I decided to use him back, and it backfired a little bit, but at the end of the day, like, it doesn't even matter. I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah, I do still have messages from him, because okay, so this is what happened. So we start talking, and he's like a gentleman. He makes a lot of money, blah, 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 whatever. And he's like, you know, like, I think you're really cute. And the thing that I forgot to mention, like, from the beginning is the fact that I was 16 and he was 23. So a bunch of you are probably like, what, how, why? So he asked me out to like hang out. I don't even remember if we went like, okay, yeah, we did go on a date. So we actually went out to go eat Thai food, and it was really good food, but he was just constantly like, oh, like, I'm super great, I can get anyone that I want, all that kind of stuff. And he was just like, he made everyone know that he had money. So one day, it was like before he even said anything about like going out with him or anything, he was just like, oh, I like you, I think you're cute. Something about my swimsuit got brought up, and he was like, oh, like, I'll take you to the mall this weekend to buy you a new one. And I just like immediately, like, that's a red flag. If you're not good at seeing red flags, I am, and I don't know why. I just choose to ignore them, or I used to choose to ignore them. Now I can see them from a mile away. And so we start dating, and this is like the stupidest thing ever, but I just like, we both used each other because in a way I was just using him for his money, and the fact that he was older and he could get me cigarettes, because at the time I used to smoke, and like at 16, like why would I smoke? And so he would do all these nice things for me. In return, he would have a cute girl to have by his side. And there was like plenty of girls that flirted with him all the time, and he just sat there and was like, yeah, like playful and fun and flirty, and I was like, I don't really care. And a lot of people were like, well, why don't you care that your boyfriend is letting people flirt with him? And I was like, because, like, if he wants to go and flirt with other people, we don't have to date. Whatever. Especially because he was so much older than me and I didn't expect us to actually last. So, fast forward like a couple days of us dating, we actually ended up dating for a week, and it was because of everything that happened during our relationship. And so we're dating, we go on a date. A lot of you guys know, or at least a lot of you guys should know, that I lost my virginity at a very young age because I was in a really abusive relationship when I was really young. So I lost my virginity at 14 years old. So at 16 years old, sleeping with someone didn't feel like that big of a deal, but I was 16, this guy was 23, I stayed the night at his house, and we slept together. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. And the next day, like, I went back home, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. And then what really was weird was the fact that later that night, I was out with my friends, and I was best friends with this girl at the time, so we were living together. I don't know if you think that this is weird, but he went ahead and messaged her and was like, hey, you're really pretty and you're really cool, maybe you should stay the night sometime. And obviously we were really close at the time, so we were together, and she shows me her phone and the message, and she's like, what is this? And I was just like, I could not believe that, like, he was just like trying to cheat on me with like my best friend. If he went and cheated on me with anyone else, it would have been like, okay, I'll break up with you. He goes and tries to cheat on me with my best friend. So, of course, right at that moment, I texted him and I was like, hey, like, I think you're really disgusting, actually, and I don't want you to ever talk to me again, which I feel was the right thing to do, first of all. And I feel like anyone would have thought that that was the right thing to do. And he's like, no, I don't understand what's going on. I didn't mean it. It was my friend. He messaged your friend from my phone. He's drunk. We all went out. I didn't mean for that to happen. I really love you, which the word love is a pretty big deal. So if you use it towards someone after a few days of dating them, I think that that's pretty weird. That was like another red flag, which I didn't ignore at that point. I was like, okay, well, I just told you, like, I don't want to talk to you ever again. Please leave me alone. And he kind of did, but then he kind of didn't, and he just kept trying to apologize, which was so weird to me. And so I was just like, you know what, whatever, like, I don't care, I'm just gonna hang out with my friends. I later on went to, like, date someone else, and eventually me and that person broke up. Obviously, I'm with someone now, and we live together, but I still have some messages from this guy, because it was like, we dated in June, and then it was probably like January, it was actually December. He was like, hey, I really miss you, I just want to be able to call you mine again, all of this stuff. And I remember the time period because I was actually in Mexico on vacation with my family for Christmas, and I was just like, please stop talking to me. And then he later on, like, messaged me again, and it was 4 months later, and I still have these messages, and he's like, I miss you. And I was like, and, like, I've asked you to leave me alone. He's like, I want to call you mine again. I'm sorry for what happened. It was my fault. And I was like, yeah, it was your fault, like, sorry for not wanting to be with you, like, even though I shouldn't have to apologize because of what you did. And he was like, oh, like, I treated you like an angel. That's exactly what it says right now, and I just want to laugh so hard because this guy was the biggest idiot and the biggest piece of shit, actually. And I was like, no, I actually don't think so. And he was like, how? Like, I was always a gentleman. And I was like, you know, like, our relationship probably would have lasted longer than 5 days if that was actually true. None of this is, like, meaning anything to me. And he was like, okay, well, I can't say that I'm not thinking of you. And I was like, you've apologized, but, like, none of your actions prove that you're sorry. You asked my best friend to sleep with her. That's just, like, so gross, especially, like, as a grown man, which he's not even a man. Like, he's just, like, he's a fuckboy. Like, I could not believe that any of this happened, and I was just like, you need to leave me alone. And he was like, please give me a chance. And at this time, I was like, I was actually kind of seeing someone, which is so weird to me because that person was also so crazy. But I was like, you know what, I'm seeing someone. He never even, like, opened the message. It shows, like, the little check mark. But I kind of said it as like, oh, I'm seeing someone, like, leave me alone. And he finally did. So that's the end of the story. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it wasn't too, like, rambly, because this is exactly why I don't do story times yet. I feel like I would like to, because I've dated a lot of weird guys and I've had a lot of weird things happen to me. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'm trying to upload at least 3 times a week, so if you want to be here for that, subscribe. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye!